So today I am going to explain you about the first lesson of the social science, that is our environment from the geography. So first we will know what is environment. So environment refers to everything in our immediate surrounding. It includes all the living and non-living things around us. Okay. So environment, it refers to everything in our immediate surroundings, and that includes living as well as the non-living things around us. So suppose think that these are we. Okay. So here in our surroundings there will be living things will be there as well as non-living things will be there. So living things like the trees, plants, birds, animals, people will be there, and non-living things like the buildings, rocks, vehicles, mountains, plateaus, everything will be there. So these all combinedly we call it as environment. Understood? Environment consists of natural environment and human-made environment. And again, natural environment is divided into two parts, that is the physical environment and biological environment. And physical environment again it is divided into three parts, that is the lithosphere, atmosphere and the hydrosphere. Lithosphere, atmosphere and the hydrosphere. And here biological environment is divided into one part, that is biosphere. And again the human-made environment is divided into two parts, that is the built environment and socio-cultural environment. So under the built environment, houses, factories, roads, bridges and dams, these will come under the built environment, and under the socio-cultural environment, family and the community will come. So the natural environment is divided into physical environment and the biological environment. So the physical environment again it is divided into three parts, that is the lithosphere, atmosphere and hydrosphere. So these lithosphere, atmosphere and the hydrosphere, these are called as abiotic or non-living components. Okay, these are called as abiotic or non-living components. And the biological environment, it deals with it includes the biosphere, which is called as a living or the biotic component. Actually this biosphere, it is a mixture of all the three. Okay, that is the atmosphere, and this is a narrow line between the atmosphere, hydrosphere and the lithosphere. So where the life can sustain. So that layer is called as a biosphere. Okay, that layer is called as a biosphere, and it is called as a living or a biotic component. Okay, so first we will go for the physical environment, that is the lithosphere. So first lithosphere. So lithosphere, this is the outermost solid surface layer of the earth, which we call it as crust. Okay, I think you know about the layers of the earth. The topmost layer crust, it is also called as lithosphere. Okay, so this lithosphere, this lithos word is taken from a Greek. Okay, Greek language, that means the stones. Okay, that means the stones. You know that it is not flat, it is uneven. It is uneven. We have many mountains, we have hills, valleys, plateaus, plains and different things we have on the earth. So here like mountains, hills, valleys and plateaus, and these are covered by a thin layer of the soil, which is very important for us. Okay, it is very important for us. So that is the layer which is very important for us. So this lithosphere means why it is important? Why it is covered by the thin layer of the soil, which is very important for us. So this soil or this layer of the lithosphere, it meets many of the needs of the people. Okay, many of the needs of the humans. So what are those needs? The land is needed for the human settlements. Okay, we build our houses on the land only. So it is very needed for us. Okay, so this is the first thing. And soil is essential for the agriculture. Where we grow our crops, we grow it on the land. Okay, that is the lithosphere. So we get our food from the lithosphere. So soil is essential for the agriculture. Okay, soil is essential for the agriculture. Next, not only that, the industries get the vital minerals and other raw materials from the lithosphere. Okay, vital minerals like the coal or the silicon or the petroleum, oil, these all things we get from the lithosphere, and also the raw materials like the coke, the rubber, everything we get from the lithosphere. So now we will go for the atmosphere. So atmosphere is the layer of air which is surrounding the earth. Okay, which is surrounding the earth, that is called as an atmosphere. So this atmosphere is a mixture of gases, dust and water vapor. Okay, gases, dust and water vapor. It is a mixture of the gases, dust and the water vapor. So in these gases also oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, ozone. So different types of the gases will be there in this one. Okay. So this word atmos is it is also derived from the Greek language, which means vapor. Okay, that means vapor. Atmos is derived from the Greek, that means the vapor. Okay, so this layer means the earth is surrounded by the atmosphere. So this layer means the gravitational force. It holds the layer of the atmosphere. Okay, it holds the layer of the atmosphere. So this atmosphere, this is also very useful for us. Okay, this is also very useful for us. Why it is useful? Because it provides the life-giving gases like oxygen and also the carbon dioxide and also the nitrogen. So these are the gases which help us. Means like oxygen is very useful for us. Carbon dioxide and nitrogen are very useful for the plants or the trees. Okay. Next, it acts as a blanket and keeps the earth warm by trapping the heat that radiates from the earth. Okay, it acts like a blanket. I think you know blanket. It will protect you from the cold. So like that only, this also acts like a blanket and it keeps the earth warm. Okay, it protects the heat. That's why if this atmosphere was not there, then what will happen? The earth will be very hot and also very hot in the daytime and very cold in the night time. As the atmosphere is there, that's why our earth is warm at night. Okay, and also it protects life from the harmful rays and the scorching heat of the sun. Okay, it protects the life from the harmful rays. I think you know violet rays. So these rays are very harmful, which causes the cancer also. So this ultraviolet, it protects the life from the harmful rays. Now we will know about hydrosphere. So here hydro means water. Hydro means water. Okay, this is also derived from the Greek. Okay, it is also derived from the Greek language. So it means water. So our earth, it is called as a blue planet. Our earth is called as a blue planet. I think you know about that. So in this one on the earth, nearly 71% of water is there and 29% of land is there. So this water is also present in three forms, that is the solid, liquid and the gaseous forms. Okay, solid, liquid and gaseous form, the total is 71% of the water is there. So this solid forms means ice or the snow, whichever is there, like glaciers, ice sheets. And next is water. So water. So So this water is present in the oceans, rivers, ponds and lakes, as well as the underground water is also present on the earth. Next, the gaseous form is the vapor form, that is the water vapor. So these are the different forms of the water present on the earth. So here this water it continuously changes from one form to another form. Okay, from one form to the another form it changes. Here the water is there, it changes into the vapor, it forms as a clouds. Next again the rain will come and this is the liquid form. Okay, so this water continuously it moves from one form to the another form. So that is called as water cycle. Okay, that is called as water cycle. So water is very essential for us. You know that water is very essential for us because for survival we need the water. So water is essential for all the living organisms to maintain their biological water balance. Okay, for maintaining the biological water balance which is present in their body according to their bodies, they need the water. Okay, and it is important for the very survival of the human and is helpful to them in many ways. So for survival, okay, for survival of the human and the humans, we need the water. Okay, we need the water and it also helps us in many other ways. Okay, for cooking and different ways, we use the water. Okay, for cooking or bathing, cleaning, for everything we use the water. Next, water is needed for both the domestical as well as the industrial purposes. So, in the industrial purposes also, means in the industries also they use the water. Next, it is important to prevent water from getting polluted and wasted. So, it is very important to protect the water. Okay, here because water pollution, we have to stop the water pollution. So, it is very essential for us to stop the water from polluted and wasted. We have to use the water properly. So now we will know about biosphere. So biosphere is a narrow zone of contact between the lithosphere, atmosphere and hydrosphere. That is land, air and water. So that area where the three meet, that is called as biosphere. Okay, that is called as biosphere. In this zone only the life can survive. Okay, in this zone only the life can survive. So here this biosphere is also called as living world or a biological environment. Okay, living world or biological environment. And this biosphere is interconnected and also interdependent. Interconnected and interdependent. So here forest. So forest provide us timber, fruits, nuts, resin, lac and medical herbs. And it is a natural habitat of various plants and animals. Okay, and this forest it moderate the atmospheric temperature by observing the carbon dioxide and adding the moisture to air. So animals they depend upon the forest and grasslands for their food. And we humans we depend upon the animals as a source of food as well as a means of transportation. We also depend on plants as a means of food and also many other sources. So, like this the biosphere is interdependent and interconnected. So, now we are going to learn the ecosystem. So, ecosystem means actually first I will ask you one thing. Can you tell me why the penguins live in Antarctica, why the camel lives in the desert? So, it is because these animals are habituated to that type of the climate. They are adapted to that type of the climate. Okay, so here depend on each other and they depend upon the immediate physical surroundings. Okay, so are habituated there only, like fish, it lives in the water because it is habituated there only. So our natural environment is connected with each other. Okay, it has several interconnected ecosystems are there. So now what is ecosystem? Ecosystem, it is a community of living things and non-living components which work together. Okay, which work together for survival. So that is called as ecosystem. And ecosystem, it don't means it doesn't have have no particular size. It have no particular size. So it will be large like a rainforest or it can be small like a pond. Okay, it can be small like a pond. So these two have different type of the ecosystems will be there. So the grasslands, coastal, that is coastal means oceanic areas and mountain, desert, lakes all have their own unique type of ecosystem. Okay, ecosystem. So ecosystem is divided into two parts, that is the natural ecosystem and the artificial ecosystem. So natural ecosystem is which is created by the nature like the grasslands, coastal areas, mountains, desert and the lakes. And the artificial ecosystem is that one which is created by the human. Okay, which is created by the human. Like for example, aquarium, terrarium. So these comes under the artificial ecosystem. So next we will come for the human-made environment. So human-made environment is the environment which is created by the humans. Which is created by the humans by interacting with the natural environment. Human beings adapt themselves to the natural environment by making some of the changes. By making some of the changes in their food, in their clothing, in their shelter. So by making this type of the changes, they adapt to that particular type of the climate. For example, like coastal areas like Kerala and the coastal areas like Odisha. So here the people they mostly eat rice and fish. Okay, the common food, rice and fish. And as it is wet, means most rain will fall. So that's why the houses are built with a sloping roofs. The houses are built. So people living in the Punjab and Uttar Pradesh regions, they have a very hot type of the climates in the summer and very cold in the winter season. So to protect themselves from this type of the climate, in the winter season they eat mostly high nutritious foods like till or the tills, groundnut, which gives them more energy. And in the summer seasons they drink more lot of the buttermilk or eat the watermelon. So to keep themselves cold, means to stop the effect from the hot. Okay, and this way they protect themselves, they make the changes in their biological environment, and the humans also change the physical environment. They also change their environment by making some of the changes. Like for example, early man, when he was living in the forest, to protect himself from the animals, he went on the trees, means he slept on the trees, on the branches of the trees to protect them from the animals. So like this, they make the changes. They make the changes. So now after inventing, means after discovering a lot of type of the machineries, humans they started changing the environment according to their advantages. According to their advantages by using various types of the skills and technologies. They started technologies and skills. They started using the means they started changing the environment. So they have discovered many minerals and also they have invented machines. So by this what happened is the demand means increasing, means as the population has increased and increasing demand for the for goods, it has increased, means it resulted in the rapid industrialization and the mass production. Okay, mass production. So as the population has increased and as the need has increased, so to produce lot of the goods, means to fulfill the needs, the humans they started cutting the forest, and they started damaging the forest, or they started damaging the environment. This one leaded to the environment degradation. This has led to the environment degradation. Okay, this led to the environment degradation as the population has increased and as the demand for the goods has increased slowly. This led to the environment degradation. Okay, so this like this slowly we started damaging the environment. Okay, we started polluting the environment. Okay, we started polluting the environment. So like this, now we have many of the environment issues are there, like the water pollution, air pollution, sound pollution, and the population, poverty, and many things are there. So some of the peoples are there, means like this what happened is we started damaging the environment, or we started spoiling the environment. So some of the people they came before to fight against this damage to the environment. So those are called as the environmentalist. Okay, like for example Sundarlal Bahugun, who is the who started the Chipko movement. Okay, so this person, these persons are called as the environmentalist, like John C. Jacob. So these are people who came before to stop the damage to the environment are called as the environmentalist. So now we should stop this type of the pollution, and we have to save our environment.